Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to my guide to Hullbreaker Hard Mode, a new dungeon added in patch 3.3. To enter this dungeon, you must first complete Hullbreaker Normal, a level 50 dungeon, and do the related quests, before heading to Upper Limsa to unlock the quest Storming the Hull. This dungeon requires an item level of 200 to enter and rewards item level 215 gear, as well as tomestones. This dungeon consists of 3 bosses with some fairly simple trash in between. To skip to a specific boss, please use the annotations in the top left hand of the video. The start of the dungeon simply consists of a few packs of enemies. The Wizen and the Coral enemies drop giant AoE buffs for themselves, so position them near a wall and move them out of their AoEs to remove their haste and damage buffs. Pull a few packs here before coming to the first boss, in quotes. Alright, seriously, I've never done this in a guide before, but I actually don't even need to explain this boss. It's literally a bunch of mobs that spawn and shoot AoEs. There's Siren Tar Girls and a few other mobs that you can pick up that the tank is pretty much responsible for. And there's also going to be Coerls that will tether to the healer and apply a healing reduction debuff on them. You're basically going to want to focus down the Coerls, dodge AoEs, and then kill everything else that spawns. You'll be done with this fight in no time. The second set of trash is mostly a bunch of Sasquatches and a Tiger mob. Eventually you'll reach a gate where the apes just throw poop at you and attack you once you kill the ads that you pulled right under them. After a few unshelled Emirs, you'll come to the second boss, a shelled Emir. The second boss of the dungeon is, as I said, Emir, and has a few simple mechanics that you need to execute on. Blanket Thunder does an AoE and tethers 2 players together. To break the tether, just run away from each other. Standing nearby makes this tether a little bit easier to break, so don't be standing on opposite sides of the room. Emir will then drop 3 puddles on the ground before marking 3 players with a red target marker. Anyone with a red target marker can go stand in any of the 3 circles to ensure that they take no damage from his oncoming Megavolt. Emir will eventually flash freeze the ground, making every movement cause your character to slide in that direction uncontrollably. He will then mark several players with an ice AoE before hitting them with an iceberg and leaving behind a little pile of ice. Try to place all of these as close to one side of the arena as possible before sliding to the opposite side. They explode after a few seconds for big AoE damage plus a vulnerability stack. Honestly, you can see it in the video, no one even cared. Like, I just healed through it, it was whatever. But you can't rely on that in the duty finder, so please, place them mindfully. On top of that, when he does it the second time in a row, he's then going to drop an AoE that you can actually use the icebergs to hide behind in order to line of sight the attack. As soon as you line of sight that second attack though, you want to slide away from the icebergs, because again, they are going to explode for that damage plus vulnerability. As long as you just keep repeating these mechanics, you'll probably have no trouble with this fight. So let's move on to the next trash. The final few trash mobs will see you going up against some of the Maelstrom's best. The first couple of Marauder mobs are fairly standard, just dodge the AoEs. The second set has a rogue mob on the left that hides before popping up on a party member and hitting them with a bleed. You can stun him out of this hide, so you may want to do that on the pull, but either way, it's not a big game changer. The third trash mob is actually Flame Commander Riki, who you probably want revenge on for those triple triad matches. She'll hit the tank fairly hard with a Storm's Eye plus Fell Cleave combo, making her, I believe, the first warrior mob we've ever seen. She also has Madness, which is the equivalent of Decimate. Kill her, the trash mobs before her, and you'll be on to the final boss. The final boss is Grand Storm Marshal Slaverson. I think that's how it's pronounced. He'll start the fight like that and as a Marauder with an axe, using powerful room-wide AoEs and hard-hitting tank busters. Shortly into the fight, he turns into Mistbeard, his original pirate name, and dons his handy pistol. This phase has 3 major mechanics. The first mechanic is the poison mechanic. Mistbeard will put a poison stack on everyone in the party before summoning a bunch of chests around the room. Look at the chests and you'll notice that items are slowly being lowered into them. Look for the ones that have a potion being lowered into them and have each party member touch their own chest in order to cleanse the poison. If you touch the wrong chest, it'll be a bomb and explode instead. The second mechanic he does summons 3 fire sand kegs, which you'll just want to knock away from the party because eventually he'll hit them with an attack and blow them up. The third mechanic is not really that big a deal. He'll mark a member of the party, he'll slow them, and then he'll try to fire an AoE at them. Just cleanse the slow any way you can and move out of the AoE. Heck, even without the cleanse, you can usually make it out of the AoE, as you see me do here. And that's pretty much it for Hullbreaker hard mode. Fun dungeon, but very, very straightforward. I can see myself enjoying this one, especially the music when I go back into it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and check out some of my other guides for patch 3.3. Be on the lookout for more videos, interviews, information, and guides coming to you in the near future. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Until next time, take care.